Nearly 48 years since Sunderland last won a game at Wembley, and Sunderland have won the EFL trophy, the Papa John's trophy, after beating Tranmere Rovers 1-0 at Wembley Stadium. But the question which is thrown to us by opposition fans is, it's a tin pot trophy, it's a rubbish trophy, it's a pizza trophy. And yes, even as us Sunderland fans, we have criticised this trophy in the past. Hell, we got knocked out last year by Leicester City under 23s. But for me, this is something that Sunderland fans should be proud of, because we have spent years, literally 5 years, of Sunderland being, hopeless or close to hopeless. We lost 2 Wembley finals in 2019 under Jack Ross. We've had 2 relegations down to League One, and when we've been in League One, we've not been particularly excellent. So today, seeing Sunderland win at Wembley Stadium, yes, we couldn't be there, but that meant so much to me as a fan, and so much to me as a person, because for years, this football club's engrossed pretty much everything I've done over the last 5 or 6 years, and obviously far longer before that, but it's been rubbish for years. And we win a trophy, and we should celebrate it. So don't feel embarrassed. Don't feel, like it's not a real win, because it is a trophy that goes in the record books. Yes, it's not the FA Cup or the League Cup, or the Premier League, but this is a competition we win. We have to win it. You go into these competitions. It's important to win. Winning breeds a winning mentality. And yes, the crying shame for me is that we couldn't be there to see it ourselves. That was the big upsetting moment for me. But ultimately, celebrate it. Tweet about it. Tweet your pictures. Don't care what other fans think. Because Newcastle haven't won a proper trophy anyway, since the 50s. Yes, they won the Fairs Cup in '69, but it was a bit of a Mickey Mouse trophy at that time. So why shouldn't we celebrate this win? Why shouldn't we just, why should we roll over and just say, oh yeah, it doesn't really count? Because it does. This squad of players have won a trophy, and we should celebrate that. But it is vital. We haven't won at Wembley for 4 years. We need momentum until the end of the season to get promoted. We saw how detrimental losing the Checker Trade final was in 2019. It derailed our season. And we as a fan base, as I said before, have had 5 years. We deserve a moment of positivity. And the last thing, it's all about mentality. We've got a winning mentality now, a manager in which our players seem to believe in, and as a fan base, we are growing to believe in him as well. And he's the first Sunderland manager since Bob Stoker to win a trophy at Wembley. So massive kudos to Lee Johnson. To the game itself, it was a poor game. I'm not going to lie to you. The first half in particular was dire. Both sides it was almost like a chess match. There wasn't really much happening. Sunderland, I think, probably looked more comfortable, but Tranmere had spells, and I think they played probably as well as they could in that game today, and they were unlucky really. Defensively, we were excellent. A makeshift back four. Tom Flanagan went off early, so we ended up with a central midfielder at right back, a central midfielder at centre back partnered with a right back, and then Callum McFadzean at left back, who, yes, he is a left back, but he's not brilliant. And I thought of that back four today, I thought 3 of them were excellent. I thought McFadzean was often out of place, often found out of position. I'm not sold on him, but he is the best option we have at left back at the minute, so we just have to deal with that. But ultimately, we kept a clean sheet again. Defensively, we've been excellent. Considering the injuries we've had, we've been absolutely excellent. We showed that day, another clean sheet. And massive credit needs to go again, Lee Johnson, for getting that team playing right. But also, I think Luke O'Nien has been phenomenal. He deserves so much praise. Another man of the match performance today. To me, and this might sound ridiculous, his centre back looks like his strongest position. I think we've seen him play centre mid, we've seen him play right back, we've seen him play further forward, but I think he's absolutely excellent in that centre back position. He's so calm, so cool, so good in the air. He's got a little bit of pace behind him as well. He's everything you'd want. Yes, he's maybe a little bit too short, but that doesn't seem to be bothering him. We kept John Marquis quiet, and today he kept the Tranmere strikers quiet. I can't remember their names off the top of my head, but they were pretty big. So he deserves massive praise. And is he best at centre back going forward? That's a choice for Lee Johnson to make, but there's certainly no concerns from me now at Luke O'Nien playing at centre back. Going forward, we did look, I think, dangerous today, but often it felt like we weren't clicking. But the goal we got was just absolutely full of quality. The ball from Aidan McGeady is exactly why he should have been in the team for the last 18 months. Phil Parkinson dropped him. We've been through that one a million times, but moments like that just prove how stupid Phil Parkinson was, and he must have been watching that game today going, what was I thinking? Any sort of disputes you have with him, you figure it out, because a player of that quality is going to win you games. Today, yes, it was Lyndon Gooch who scored, but it was part of a plate by McGeady, and it was the best pass by a country mile of the day. It was a pass fitting to be in a Premier League game. It was that good. Just slices to the defence, and Gooch, he was in one-on-one. He did really well to finish that one. We saw him miss one like that last week, I think, against Rochdale, but today he put it away with ease. And the final point really on the game, is Tranmere were excellent. If there's a Tranmere fan watching this, I was impressed. I think they look like a very, very strong team. And I think they deserve massive credit. I think that they've got a very good chance to get promoted into League One. I thought they were a decent enough side last season. I know we hammered them 5-0 at the Stadium of Light, but the reverse fixture at Prenton Park, I thought Tranmere played well. So yeah, fair play to them, fair credit. I really like Keith Hill as well. He's a good manager. So looking back at previous Checker Trade or Peter Trophy or Papa John's Trophy winners over the last few years and see how they did. I love stats, so let's have a look now. At Portsmouth in 2019, they obviously beat Sunderland. They won 4 in a row after the final, so there was no hangover there for them. In 2018, Lincoln City were chasing the playoffs. They lost the first game after winning the final, but from there were unbeaten in their final 5, winning 3 of them, finishing the playoffs in 7th place. In 2017, Coventry City won it, and actually they were relegated that season, but they did win 2 of their next 6, which doesn't sound very impressive, but if you consider the fact they only won 3 games since the start of March before that was an upturn. They obviously got something from winning the. And in 2016, Barnsley won in the final. They ended up only losing 1 of the final 7 games after that, and they went on to win again at Wembley in the playoffs. So I think what we can take from that is the impact is generally positive or no real change. But I think looking through all of that there, you think all sides seem to do better after winning the final. So Sunderland have got a chance there, but history shows that we should continue. We're currently on a good run of form, but we should continue that positive momentum from winning the final. We shouldn't have a hangover from that. Evidence in the past suggests that we won't. And I think importantly as well, if we do miss for the automatic promotion race, we get in the playoffs. Barnsley won twice in 2016 at Wembley, so maybe we could win again at Wembley later this season. We obviously lost 2 finals in 2019, so maybe it would be fitting if we were to win 2 finals in 2021. So looking ahead, I think we've got a day or two of celebrating as a football club and as a fan base, and that's fine. But we do have a big game on Wednesday night against Accrington Stanley away from home. Hopefully it'll be too long before we can stop saying we've got a big game against Accrington Stanley coming up. That would be nice. However, it is what it is. We need to win this game so we don't have to play them again. We can't afford a slow start of that game. We can't afford to have a hangover. Accrington would be well up for it. We know they're a decent side. They're in and around the playoff places. They have went off the boil a little bit at the minute. They've lost 2 in a row. Do look a little bit out of sorts. However, they're going to be up for this one. This is one of their biggest games of the season. So far at home, Accrington have won 8, drawn 4, lost 4 of their home matches. They've only won 1 of the last 5 at home. So they're not a team that's in their best form of the season. They started very, very well, and it feels like they came off the boil quite a bit recently. But if they can get their season back on track with a big win against Sunderland, a team that's in good form, it could really set them up. The big questions for me for Sunderland is what do we do defensively? We've got injuries still. Tom Flanagan picked up an injury today, so is he back? Bailey Wright, we know he's coming back into the fray. We know Denver Hume's coming back into the fray. We know that Dion Sanderson will be back in. He was cup tied today, and we know we've got Luke O'Nien in there. But do you bring Bailey Wright back in? He is probably our best centre back. Do you take out Luke O'Nien? Do you take out Dion Sanderson? Do you put Luke O'Nien in at right back and move Max Power in the midfield? There's decisions to be made by Lee Johnson. It's good to have selection headaches. It's good to have actual centre backs fit. But that's a big decision for him going forward. Elsewhere in the team, I thought Carl Winchester and Josh Scone were excellent against Portsmouth. So do you break them up and put Grant Ledbetter in, who I thought today was okay, not brilliant, not as good as what Winchester was on Tuesday against Portsmouth. So that's a decision that needs to be made there. You probably think that Ledbetter would get pulled out just because he's coming back from an injury. And further forward, Jordan Jones, if he was fit, you'd presume he'd play. Thought Ian McGeady played well today. I didn't think Chris Maguire necessarily had the best game. So would the change be bringing Jordan Jones in for Chris Maguire and keeping Lyndon Guchin, who scored a goal? Don't think he had his best match, but he did manage to buy himself a goal, so fair play to him. And obviously up front, you've got Charlie White. I don't see Sunderland changing that, even with Ross Stewart coming back into the fray. But that again, that's a decision that Lee Johnson has to make when he wants to throw Ross Stewart in, because he is going to have to put him in at some point. I thought he might bring him on for the last 15 minutes today. Obviously he didn't. But yeah, it's a win. It's a win at Wembley, and we should be happy. I said at the start of the video, don't be embarrassed about this one. Don't be embarrassed about celebrating it. Don't let any fans tell you that it's a rubbish trophy and they wouldn't want to win it, because if you're in it, you're in it. And I'm sure if other clubs, namely Newcastle, because they're the ones who are bleating on about it the most, yes, Newcastle bleating on about a League One club because they're not obsessed at all with Sunderland, and you know they're just there to laugh at us. We're always in their shadow, etc. But if Newcastle were in League One, they would want to win this trophy as well, and that's the reality. You can only win what you're in. Sunderland, Newcastle, and the North East clubs in general have not had any trophy success really in my life. Middlesbrough won obviously the League Cup in 2004, but other than that, there's been none. So you got to take your wins when you can, and we're not likely to win the FA Cup anytime soon. So yeah, let's celebrate this one. I'm not saying we have to celebrate in the same way we have to celebrate 1973, but it is nice to have finally won at Wembley. So thanks for watching today's video. Please like it, please subscribe if you've enjoyed it, and yeah, get excited for the season ahead, because I think, you know, with 13 games to go, we've got a good chance of getting promoted. We've got a good chance of making this season a very memorable one, especially in the circumstances of not being able to go to games. It would be nice though if we were back at the stadium like we're playing Championship football. That would be amazing. So thanks for watching today, and please let me know your thoughts after winning that game.